When should you cover your heat pump, and how should you cover your heat pump? And what's the difference between a top discharge and a side discharge heat pump system? You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians / Homeowners. I'm Tad, this is Taddy Digest. Let's go. First, I'm going to show you the difference between this heat pump, which is a side discharge. It pulls air into the coil and then it blows it out of the side. Now look at this heat pump and then tell me what the difference between this heat pump right now, the way it sets, and this heat pump. This is a top discharge heat pump. You see it pulls air in the sides and it pushes the air out the top. Now what do you see as the difference between this and the side discharge heat pump? This is the only acceptable method for covering your outdoor heat pump unit. Why? Because we have at least 4 foot of clearance from the top of this unit to the top of this awning. That way we have good airflow and we're not blocking the sides of the coil. By now you can see the difference. We've got all of this snow built up, looks like a mound. We got all these icicles right here and it's starting to form on the fan grill. Now this unit, you can actually take and put a board over the top of it. As long as you don't restrict the air going into the coil and restrict the air blowing out of the fan right here in the front, then this will actually prevent snow from mounding up on the top. I've actually done this before. You can also see that we've got a lot of snow accumulation on the bottom of this unit and it's blocking some of this coil. So it's really, really beneficial for you to keep the unit up on a stand or up on a mounting bracket on the wall and keep it as high as possible. That way you don't have this snow blocking that coil or even blocking some of the fan. Now you know that if you're going to cover the unit, you need to make sure you build a nice awning. If you got a top discharge unit, you need that clearance. With the side discharge, you know that you don't have to have as much clearance, but it's good to have a nice awning. That way the service technician can walk up underneath it and not have to duck or crouch or crawl underneath that awning that you build. You never want to tarp the unit. You never want to cover it completely up. You never want to just shut the heat pump off, especially if it is out in the weather and it's top discharge, because then the ice gets on the blades. You shut it off. You don't wait for it to thaw. Then you turn it back on and then there's damage that occurs to that fan blade. Now you know the difference between a side discharge and a top discharge heat pump. You know the best way to cover it up and what not to do. And if you want to learn more about a heat pump, why the coil freezes and what you should do, I'll link a video to this one. Remember, it's going to get ice on the coil, but it should thaw. It has a defrost cycle and that's normal.